Get ready for two wild guys throwing out spicy ideals on fantasy football. Welcome back to the Dynasty Football Maniac. Just at your old risk.
All right, so we covered NFC East the last time. Now we're going to be on NFC West. So that's the great Arizona Cardinals, Los Angeles Rams, San Francisco 49ers. I kind of want to choke on that one. And Seattle Seahawks. And I'm not going to say why I like to choke on the 49ers. I'm not saying yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. And it also, guys, y'all know preseason has started. So technically, the NFL site confuses me. It says it's the second week of preseason. I guess they count the Lions game.
Yeah,
They count that as
yeah, they
count that
count
as
that as the opener for the
yeah
first week.
yeah, that's crazy. But whatever. I mean, it's them. They can do whatever they want. I can't argue. Wow, I've seen some interesting things. I know it's just preseason, so don't like hit the drum beat and think, "Oh my God, here goes the wheels are going to fall off." You do see snippets of things that could end up happening, and I think my biggest surprise was, yeah, I know people don't go and push their old throttle out there, and they don't do what they want to do, and maybe they hit it, maybe they didn't want him to do anything, but I felt like Gentney behind that line, he just couldn't see nothing in front of him. But I didn't realize he was that small, really, honestly. But he's about a little bit, about probably what in between the size of Jamar Gibbs, you would say, or is he a little smaller than Jamar? He looks smaller than Jamar. I mean,
I'd have to do a comparison on it. I don't exactly remember how much Jamar weighed and how tall he was.
it just the height. It just amazed me. But on the other hand, it is preseason. He only attempted 3 carries, and then he didn't see the rest of the game. They do that for a lot of starters. Some starters don't ever hit the field. So I was kind of even surprised they put Jetney on the field because I was figuring him being first round pick. I've seen that before where they didn't even play him preseason game, not even warmed him up. Like they did him in practice, but didn't let him hit the game. So I was kind of surprised. Saunders, I mean, I don't think his performance has been horrible. I mean, it's actually pretty decent. I mean, watching what he did, I mean, he did get 2 touchdowns. He controlled the ball. He didn't throw no interceptions. I mean,
Yeah, I really wish we could have saw Quentin Junkins tonight.
yeah, well, he's not even signed his contract, and he's working out all that legal thing right now. And then once he gets that straightened out, he's most likely going to be serving suspension, even though he's pleading not guilty. I believe that's how I read that article. And he is fighting it in court, asking for a trial because he believes he's innocent, which I hope he is. I believe you have to be proven guilty before you're guilty. He's not signed a contract with the Browns yet, which we know it's all going to unfold in the next week or so. He's got to sign it. He will sign it. And then we know when the NFL gets a hold of it and they have this little domestic stuff happens, they end up putting this suspension. So who was it that got 3 weeks? Was that Addison? I think got 3 weeks.
It was Addison that got 3 weeks.
Yeah, and then how many weeks did he oh god, Rashi Rice get?
They haven't ruled on him yet.
Yeah, but we do know he has to go to jail for 30 days. So when
Yeah,
he
but
serves that jail time.
yeah, he can do that anytime though. So he more likely would probably do that during the next off season.
Or during his suspension if they give him a 4 week suspension or something.
Yeah, I mean
Get it out of the
they
way.
could. Yep.
But I don't know if I'd want to go to prison during the jail or prison during the football season just in case
He'll
something
probably
happened.
he'll probably do it during the off season.
Yeah, that would make more sense because you want to go to practice. You want to be warmed up, even if you're on suspension. You want to be ready. So, I mean, I'm not trying to take anything to heart. It was good to see some of these backups do really well, like McGee for Philadelphia. Did not see that coming. Wow. Thought he did a great performance as a quarterback. Yeah, I did not see that coming at all. And what else I'd say I'd take? Did you see anything that stood out to you that was like, oh, I like how Carson Swinzinger is doing on the defensive side for the Browns? Definitely looks a little bit
I like
impressive.
Tedero. I really Tedero McMillan looked pretty good for his first debut.
Yeah, he's with Panthers, right?
Him and Bryce Young looked like they were clicking, which is very good since I drafted Tedero. in one of our leagues.
Maybe I
Now,
just
I
read
did
this.
see where
I mean, they only
I
got
did
10
see where
points. I mean, when I look at the player stats,
yeah, but stats say one story, but when you watch the player and how they operated it, it always says something else as well.
that's
That's
true.
reason
That's
why
true.
that's the reason why I don't look really too hard in the preseason. I did, however, watch that return kick that Travion Henderson took back.
There we go. Woo. All right. Yeah, I was right. He had one carry for 18 yards, and he had that return. You said he had a kick return? I missed that one.
Yeah, yeah, he returned the kick.
Kick return. Then he had a couple receptions. Yeah, he's looking pretty good. Drake May, 3 for 5, 12 yards. Uh, Joshua Dobbs, 5 for 12, 45 yards. And then they've basically been playing Ben Woodbridge. He had
Yeah, Drake
10
Drake
attempts.
May Drake May ran one in for a touchdown.
Yes, he did. He ran 2 times, 16 yards, and 1 for a touchdown. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting game. Well, the Patriots are pretty much like, and this is preseason, guys. I've seen it every year. Like, these teams literally go out and do really well in preseason. And then when they play the regular season, when the other team turns their stuff up, it is a whole different, like, things doesn't occur like they do in preseason. If you don't, I've seen it so many times. And Austin knows what I'm talking about. Everybody does. But it's still, we look at it, we try to analyze it, and we try to take our best guesses and assumptions. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. I guess we need to just stick with our topic today. So today we're covering the NFC West. Jesus. So the only team out of that group that's played so far is the Seahawks. They looked pretty decent. I mean, overall, it wasn't too bad of a performance. I mean, they did tie with the Raiders 23-23. I mean, there was some nice spice things I seen on defense that I think when they're playing a regular game, they're going to be more all out to hit that quarterback. I think we're going to see a lot of that backfield disruption. So on that part of the Seahawks looked pretty good. Receiving game didn't look too bad. Everything looked pretty solid on. So looking at the depth chart, I'm going to tell you, I believe JSN is going to be the number one wide receiver over everybody. Unless Cooper Kupp comes out there really healthy and he clicks, then I could see Cooper Kupp taking a lead because he's a bigger, contested ball catching kind of guy. But I also do believe it'll also open up JSN a lot too. And then they also added Scantling, which he's a pretty good slot runner. But he's going to be running on the outside, not as a slot this time. So that's going to be interesting. But his backup is Troy Horton, which is a rookie. They drafted in the 5th round. And he looked pretty decent in the preseason. So that'll be interesting. But I think out of all the offense, excluding the quarterback, because we know the quarterbacks are going to score decent. I think the quarterback, Sam Darnold will probably finish within quarterback 20. No disrespect. I don't think he's going to be above that. I think he's going to digress a little bit than what you've seen from Minnesota. I don't think you'll see Milroe jump up. They've done changed that whole order after preseason game for some reason. Milroe's been moved to 3rd. Drew Lockett's been put at 2nd. But that stuff changes. Like, this changed again before the season starts. But this is what it got changed again too, and it just updated itself again. I hate when it does that. But no, it stayed the same for the quarterbacks. So I think Sam Darnold will probably finish with top 20 quarterbacks. I think your top, Kenneth Walker stays healthy. He's going to be the top scorer. But I have no faith that he's going to stay healthy. I'm sorry. As what the last 2 years have shown me, it's not going to happen. So I'm going to pick a wide receiver on that team, and I'm going to have to say I'm going to go with JSN. I'm going to stick with my first person I said, JSN. But there's like 2 scary things there, and that's the hard part about it. But that's who I'm going to pick. And on the defensive side, I like the safety, Julian Love. But I also like how Nick Amori played in the preseason. So either one. But I think Julian Love will probably, as long as he stays healthy, he's going to be great. Safeties rack up points, and the way they were moving and playing, and the way the safeties are coming in for the blitz, I just have a feeling that backfield is going to be very, very pass rush disruptive. Just my opinion. But I'm going to tell you, I'm not an expert. If I was, I'd be working for an NFL team, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Well, at least I came out and honestly said it.
I mean, that's true.
Could have lied to the folks and said, hey, I'm a secret employee.
Yeah. Well, then you need to be giving me some secret tips. Then that way I know who I need to trade for and stuff.
Well, you know, I've done applied for every one of these jobs. Told them I've been coaching fantasy football for the last 10 years and my winning record, and none of them's called me back. So I'm kind of giving up
Ah.
on my hopes. And
Ah.
then I
Okay.
and then I told them how great I've been doing in the 2026 college football, and I'm like, this has got to sell the job now. I mean, I'm asking for a pay cut. I'm telling them they only have to pay me this amount to coach for them. These guys are getting millions. I'm not even asking for millions. I just want to step foot on your field, drink a little bit of Gatorade with the big boys. All right, go
Hmm.
on.
All right. So the only thing that I do agree with you that Sam Darnold, there's going to be like a little regression there. But I am going to go. You said you're kind of scared of Kenneth, and you need to be a little bit concerned because he hasn't really had a full healthy year since he's been in the league. But when he's on the field, he's explosive
Yes, he
and
is.
he gets a lot of points. So honestly, he honestly kind of reminds me of like a mini Christian McCaffrey when it comes to the injury stuff.
Mm.
So because so I am going to still take a chance on Kenneth Walker, but another thing I am concerned with, and I really want to see this offensive line a little bit more. I want to see them, kind of work cohesive with each other and see. Hopefully, it's a little bit better than it was last year. So, if the offensive line does good, but I'm still going to go with Kenneth Walker because if he can stay healthy, he is going to be one of the top scorers on this offense. And I do agree with Jackson Smith Najigba should be the number one receiver. And if unless I think Cooper Cup is going to get a share, but I don't really think it's going to be like how it was whenever he was with the Rams. I don't think it's going to be that big of a pie that he's going to eat into this offense. But I'm going to take a chance, just like everybody with Christian McCaffrey is taking a chance on him. I'm going to go with Kenneth Walker on the offense, and on the defense, I am excited for this kid. I am going to go with Tyrese Knight. I think this linebacker has a lot of potential because he was a fourth round pick last year, and they started sprinkling him in the defense a little bit last year, and he did really well for the opportunities that he got. So he's going to be a full time starter this year. So I have a lot of confidence in him. I could have went with I do like Julian Love too, and I definitely could have went with Kobe Bryant, or you could have went with Leonard Williams, who is a veteran who is on the team. But I have a lot of high hopes for Tyrese Knight, so I'm going to rock with him on the defense.
All right. Yes. So yeah, I can see your viewpoints on that. So that I mean that covers the Seahawks. So let's go back and see what we else got to cover here because it's going to be interesting. Geno Smith gone to the Raiders. You got Sam Arnold from Minnesota taking over. It'll be different. Let's go to our second favorite team in there. Mine, Arizona. The only reason I like Arizona is because there's one player there I really like, but he's not really showed me too much yet. Hoping this year is his year, but I don't think the quarterback's the quarterback. But I could be wrong on that.
Well, I have to defend him a little bit just due to the fact that he's my quarterback.
I knew that. That's why.
I,
All right.
I have a little bit more optimism than you do, but you continue.
All right. So we're looking at here. We got Marvin Harris Jr., Michael Wilson, and Greg Kyle Murray as quarterback. James Conner. As long as he stays healthy, he'll be great. But Trey Benson right behind him is not bad. So as soon as Connor goes down, we're going to see Trey Benson in there, and he didn't miss too much. Trey McBride filled in that spot for Zach Ertz and did very well. I still believe he's going to thrive this year. I do believe that Kyle Murray will probably finish in the top 8 quarterbacks, and I think he'll have a better year this year. They did touch up and brought it. They kind of the line doesn't is a senior line, so you got a first round pick Paris on there. Then you got the Brian Evans they got from Seattle, which he's been there for a year now. Uh, their line's pretty good. Their line's solid. So I know Will Henderson's still hurt. Hernandez, I mean. Other than that, pretty healthy line. I'll be interested to watch their preseason game. On the defensive side, they added a lot of players like Josh Sweat. They picked up Will Johnson. And they got a couple other players from Cincinnati, Cleveland. So it's going to be interesting to see what that defensive side. On the defensive side, I'm going to put all my money on Bubba Baker. He's going to probably be the highest scorer again this year for Arizona. He was their highest scorer last year for defense. I think this year he's going to do the same. He's repeatable. That's why he's ranked. He's not up there because he's up there. He's up there because he's consistent, and I don't think he's going to falter this year. On the offensive side, excluding the quarterback, like I said, I believe Kyle Murray will probably finish in the top 8 quarterbacks. I'm not going to pick Marvin Harris. I'm sorry. I wish I could, but honestly, going to have to lean on James Conner, even though he's a good running back, he doesn't score higher than the wide receivers. So, see, he handed the ball off more to Greg last year. I'm going to go ahead and go with Marvin Harris Jr. I'm going to give him a shot this year. I think this is the year he proves himself. You can take it from there.
All right. Well, I have no choice but to have a little optimism about this. But generally, what really excited me was I think the connection between Marvin Harrison and Kyler Murray is going to be a lot better. This is also the year 2 after the significant injury that Kyler Murray had. So, history over time, usually when players come back from a significant injury, usually that first whole year back from the injury is usually getting them acclimated back into football shape and getting, not being so scared of stepping on the leg and stuff like that. So I think this year's going to be different. I think Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison there's going to be a more connection between them two. But Trey McBride is still there, and he's going to have a big share in this offense as well. So it's going to be between Trey McBride and Marvin Harrison. So on defense, they've added a lot of players because they're trying to bolster up this defense, which is good on their part because they needed help on defense. Last year they were pretty bad, so they did pretty good with getting boosted up on defense. So on offense, I am gonna go with. I like your pick. I'm gonna go with Trey McBride because he's still gonna have a major target share into this offense. I mean, he had 147 targets last year. He had 106 targets in 2023. So he's going to be definitely targeted. So he's going to be a top tier tight end to grab. On defense, you took my guy. I was going to go with Buda Baker as well. I mean, he's just so good for that defense. The past few years, he's been leading that defense in scoring. So I'm just going to piggyback off of you, and we're going to share Buda Baker together on the defensive side.
So with that being said, since I jumped ahead and grabbed 2 teams right off the bat, I'm going to let you take over and start with the first team that you want to pick. Because really, these next 2 teams, to me, are really not really worth talking about. And I really don't like to spend a whole lot of time on them. They're just teams that I kind of just like wish that didn't exist in the NFL.
Oh,
they're okay.
Oh,
They're okay.
well,
They're mediocre. They're mediocre, guys. Let's go.
well, I mean, Yes, that's true. Even though one of them's a historic franchise, but
Let's forget about the past. Think about the future.
yeah, okay, whatever. Anyways, we're gonna go hop. We're gonna go hop to the Rams because, unlike you, I think this is an interesting team because, um, well, we can just talk about Matthew Stafford first because
He's injured.
he's an old man. Um, he's dealing with old man problems now. Wake up every morning, so my back. So the back's been giving him a little bit of issues here and there. I still think he's going to play through it when it comes to the actual regular season because Stafford is just a one tough son of a gun. I mean, he showed it over the years. So I think he's definitely gonna play during the regular season unless, he really actually has a really big significant injury that just won't let him play. So but with that being said, now it's interesting. It's interesting how this wide receiving core is gonna play out and how we're gonna distribute the shares of targets because when you're thinking, oh well, Cooper Cup's gone, and Puka Nakua is already being targeted a lot, but you're thinking, oh well, Cooper Cup's gone, so that means Puka Nakua is going to have all the targets. But then they got Devontae Adams, so now Devontae Adams, he's going to get his share. I mean, Devontae isn't going to go to a team and not and just do cardio out there on the field. He's going to demand targets. So it's going to be interesting to see how their share is going to be thrown at. On defense, this defense is I'm starting to like it a little bit more. They've been getting younger. Uh the years of them trading all their first round picks and stuff away is over now. They're actually picking first round picks and stuff, and they're getting really good players when they're doing this. So I'm going to go with on offense. And actually, the news is Kyron Williams. They finally got a deal done. So we don't have to worry about that. Kyron Williams will be on the field, and he will be playing for the Rams this year. But I'm going to go with Puka Nakua. I'm gonna go with Puka Nakua. I think he's gonna be one of the top scorers on the offensive. Defense. I've been swinging in different directions on this, but I really like Jared Verse. He showed a lot of promise last year as a rookie. I think this year he's just gonna add on to it, and I think he's gonna be really disruptive, and he's gonna get a lot of sacks. I think he's gonna get a pretty good bit of sacks this year. So I'm going with Jared first on the defense.
All right, that's interesting. Um, so let's go back to that wide receiver room again. Yes, Cooper Cup left. And last year, Cooper Cup was 38. Puka Nuka placed 26. Uh, Devontae Adams, that played on a different team, which was the New York Jets, actually made it in the top 20. He was 11. Um, and their third wide receiver, which is really his stats show that he is a third wide receiver. That's Atwell. He's a good guy to have on the bench when you need a receiver to play. And as long as one of them other receivers are hurt, he'll get you some points. Not nothing to be like, oh wow, because he did finish in the top 100 wide receivers, which that's to me is pretty good. Um, do I think Puka Nuka outdo Devontae Adams? Just depends. Really depends on the quarterback. Honestly, I mean, Devontae Adams is a lot older. You would think he would be kind of like going away, but everywhere he's went, he's always dominated. And I know Puka Nuka has dominated too. So it's really the love of the quarterback. Now, the quarterback room there is like, oh my God, what's going on? I mean, Matthew Stafford's already hurt. He's listed on the injured list, inactive. Who is going to be the quarterback? I mean, Jimmy, Stetson Bennett, or Will Dresser, or Dresser win? Uh, or,
I think it'll be Jimmy. At least that's what the reports that I just read a while
and
ago.
we've all seen that show. We've all seen
Yeah.
how horribly that show goes.
Yeah, we saw how him and Devontae worked together too when they were with the Raiders.
Yeah, I don't think he'd do any better with Puka Nuka. Uh,
I mean, exactly.
that's rough. Because, I mean, Devontae went to the Jets, and he showed that he could play with darn good quarterbacks. Because I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers played the whole time. He didn't. So I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers is not a good quarterback anymore. Or am I? Uh, I'm saying that all the other backups did fine throwing to him. And he was getting the ball, and he was doing his job. I won't know until the season starts. This team is so unpredictable. The only safe bet on this is I have a safe bet with Kieran Williams. I think he's going to be the top scorer. I think that running back's going to run the room. I don't know where Matthew Stafford's going to end up because he's on the injured list, but I don't think it's going to be in the top 20 again, and that's because of he's injured. I think if he's uninjured, he'll finish probably in the top 10. Uh, and that's where I got him placed. But right now, he's not starting off on. At least maybe it's good that it's started the season and not the end of the season. But we don't know what's the headed forward. And on defense, there's a lot of good things on that defense that I like. See, I can't say Brandon Fritz is going to be a top scorer because he's a defensive end. I think more Garrett Verse would be good, but I really do like Cameron Kitchens. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Cameron Kitchens, the free safety on that one. And then on the back room is like punt return is all over the place. So I don't even know who the punt returner is. So I don't even know what to say about that. That's all I got to really say about the Rams. I can see they're already starting off on the wrong foot with 2 injuries. I mean, you got the left tackle out, you already had the quarterback out. This is what plagued them last year. I mean, I really do feel sorry for the team. I mean, they're a good team, all hands down. I mean, if that team shows up and they're healthy, you're running. That
Well, I
coach, he's
mean,
good.
they did start off slow last year, and then when they got really hot, made it to the playoffs, and nobody really wanted to play them. But if you think injuries are hitting them bad, wait till we talk about the next team.
Oh, I know. So that's where we're going. Let's get them
Hmm.
out of the way. Oh my, my eyes are hurting with red. Oh my, it is all over the place. Not so much the
I think,
starters. There's 3 starters. Well, 4 starters that are 3 starters, and then a couple backups. Jordan James is hurt too.
yeah, he got hurt earlier today.
Oh man, Juan Jennings screaming about a contract, and now he's out. Uh, Brandon Ayuk is out. Wow.
Yeah, well, I mean, Brandon Ayuk was already hurt. He's still trying to come back. John Jennings, that's a new. I think honestly, I think it's. I knew they quote unquote call it an injury, but I really think with Juan Jennings, I think it's gonna. He's like, oh, my calf's hurt. I'm not gonna cut. I'll come back whenever you decide to pay me.
You mean he's doing a Josh Taylor?
I mean,
You think?
eh, I'm. I mean, the vibes that I'm seeing and stuff. I mean, this is not the first time I heard this quote unquote situation.
And let me clear up the name I was trying to say. I'm sorry I said Josh Taylor. It was Jonathan Taylor. He kind of did that with Indianapolis, even though quote unquote he was hurt.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So
when his contract finally got signed, he was perfectly healthy.
I mean, that's what this is starting to look like. I think he's doing this because he's like, look, you need me, as you need me, you need to sign me.
Well,
So he,
that whole running back room looks like it collapsed. I mean, you got Christian McCaffrey showing healthy, but that's a question mark in itself. I mean, the last time I seen him, he was in the wheelchair when they rolled him out on the field and said he was going to play this year. Uh,
oh good God.
oh, that was a meme. It was a joke. I'm so sorry, guys.
Oh, you just made all the 49ers fans upset.
But no, I love Christian McCaffrey. He's one of them backs that he could be hurt the next day, come out, put 40 points on. So even when I had him and he was injured, even though a lot of people cussed him, I was like, why would I cuss a man that's going to possibly, if I get a heads up that he's hurt, I can pull him out, put someone else in there. But if I know he's playing and I put him in, as long as he gets his first 15, I'm happy. And then after that, everything else is a blessing. Most of the time, he always hit that 30 and that 20 and that 40 mark. I was always like, why wouldn't you want to have him on your team? Even if he's only there for 4 or 5 games, that's 4 or 5 games you're guaranteed to win. I mean, I won all 4 games that he played in for me that year. That was the year I won a championship. I
Mhm.
still sit back and fantasize about that year, but we won't talk about what year it was.
Quit
But
thinking, quit thinking about the past, Ralph. It's the future.
Oh, the 49ers always burn my team, so I just, yeah. Next to the Dallas Cowboys, this is the other team that makes me gag.
Oh, kind of like how the Eagles usually make me gag.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
actually, I probably gag harder on Dallas than I do on the 49ers, but they come in second.
Yeah, we usually do the same when it comes to the Eagles.
And yeah, I'm looking at the injuries. I'm surprised. A lot of their backups are out. They got a lot of, they picked up a lot of players. He brought in a lot of players. Kyle Shanahan runs a good team. So does McVay. I mean, when it comes to them two teams, even nowadays, when they're healthy, they're scary.
True, but I mean, they're not as good as the coach they are. I mean, we saw it last year when everybody got hurt. The 49ers didn't even get anywhere close to the playoffs.
The Rams did.
Or the Rams, because everybody started getting healthy
Yeah, the
at the right
49ers, nothing
at
got
the right
healthy.
time. Exactly. I think the 49ers are cursed. I really do.
You think they finally hit a curse spell where now they're going down to that?
I I think one of their ex players or whoever put a curse on them, and they just can't stay healthy. I mean, they're just it's the past 3 or 4 years now. Everybody has been a lot of players have been injured and hurt.
I used to scream that Jerry Rice had glue on his hands. I mean, the man could catch anything. It was like the ball would just fly out of the air and attach to his fingers. I was like, why? How? Who? When? He was
I
so
get it.
amazing.
I
Just
get it. Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, I definitely get it.
But no, so who do you think is the top scorer now on the offense? If I missed you, if you already said, I'm sorry.
Well, I so on my end, I am going to go with. I would really let's see. I really love Christian McCaffrey, but the injuries of and a lot of games he's missed, it just kind of scared me. So, and their wide receiver room is just awful. So, I am actually going to go with reliable. I am going to go with George Kittle. I am going to go with George Kittle because I think this man is going to be the vocal point of this offense because of everybody getting hurt. Now, if Christian McCaffrey can stay healthy and actually, really stay healthy throughout the whole year, then it would be him. But as of right now, I don't have that confidence yet of him actually finishing the whole year without missing some games because of history. So I'm going with George Kittle on the offense because I don't know who the hell they're else they're going to throw to besides, maybe Ricky Pearsall. Um, the other team, the backups, that's to be determined on who's getting that. But on the defense, you know, I really like I do like Nick Bosa, but I'm not gonna go him. I'm gonna go with Old Faithful on this one too. I'm gonna go with Fred Warner because he is just a machine for that team on defense.
Well, I'm on defense. Just to go ahead and get straight out of the way, I'm with you on defense. I think Fred Warner's the top guy on the defense. Will be the top guy again this year. No doubt about it. Fred Warner's special. Uh, on the offense, I honestly don't think Brock Purdy's going to finish as he did last year, 14. I think he's going to finish below that. At this point, I think that due to the fact of all the injuries I already see for the wide receiver core, I do believe that what you said is true. George Kittle usually steps up when everybody else is injured, but then when everybody gets healthy, he goes out. So in some cases, but it's been a while since he went out. So he's been doing pretty well. I'm kind of scared about the whole running back room and that whole thing. Christian McCaffrey's the only thing there right now. I mean, I know they got other guys on the roster, but these guys are all practice level team, and who knows? I mean, one of them could be somebody special. Jordan James shocked me when he got hurt. Isaiah, that kind of shocked me. Wow.
Hmm.
I don't know what else to say on that. I mean, so on the top offensive scorer, I would want Christian McCaffrey to be the guy. And I think he will be the guy if he stays healthy, but I don't think he's going to stay healthy. But I think we're going to see a shining star pop out because that's usually what happens at the 49ers and the Rams. One guy that we don't ever hear much about is now a star. And they did pick up Jordan Watkins, but he's behind Ricky Pearsall, and I think Ricky Pearsall will probably be their lead. I think we're going to see him step up and take the reins and watch the other two kind of slowly, gradually get back into health. And if he can hold it out, he's going to be a leading scorer for the offense. That's my take on it. So, with that being said, for the West NFC, my prediction, you guys are ready for it. Are you ready for it?
Go for it.
So I honestly think the West will be won by the Cardinals this year. Right behind them are going to be the Rams. And after them, Seattle. And that'll leave the 49ers coming in dead last again.
So, is it crazy that I have the exact same order as you do?
Oh, no, it's not crazy at all. It makes sense.
I have them in that order as well.
So I only have two of them getting into the playoffs. I have the Cardinals and the Rams. I think Seattle will be left out.
Okay. I just have one. I have the Cardinals going.
That makes sense. So you got so you have just the one team going this time to the playoffs.
Right, because I already done said three was gonna make it in the NFC East. And I have my other teams, I got double teams and all other ones, so I got Cardinals in this one. And the Rams can very well get into it. They can have that run again like they did last year, but I if they do get in, it's gonna be a nail biter like it was last year.
Yes, I do believe that too. I've typed in the wrong area here. I got to fix it. So you just have the Cardinals going.
Hmm.
All right, so that's interesting. So we got now two more divisions to talk about. But I know right now we got to get team back into these preseason games, which are turning out to be interesting. Says Patriots totally went past the Commanders, 48-18. They just kind of like touchdowns everywhere. Uh, take that ball where you can. I'm going to be watching the Patriots this year. I think they're going to have a good comeback, decent comeback maybe. I know
I think it's gonna be exciting.
yeah, the Lions and the Falcons have started. Oh no, that's final today. Uh, what else is going? They're all done today. They're all three played today. So you had the
Yeah.
Lions and the Falcons, Commanders and the Patriots, and the Browns and the Panthers. The Browns just lit up the Panthers. Patriots lit up the Commanders, and then you had a little battle there. And, I didn't even pay attention to the Falcon one. I'm gonna kind of look at it real quick just to kind of see what all happened. You kind of always want to know.
Now tomorrow, there's several games tomorrow.
Yeah, they had Hendon Hooker quarterback and Kyle Allen for the Lions, and then I don't even know the Emory Jones and Easton Stick. So
Oh yeah.
for the Falcons, so Penix wasn't even out there. Um,
What's amazing? Neither was Kirk Cousins. I thought because on our lads, they had Kirk Cousins as the backup, but they didn't even play him.
yeah, they do. They have Michael Penix as the starter, Kirk Cousins as the backup, and Then they just picked up Easton from Los Angeles, and they did a free agency sign with Emory Jones in 24. That is interesting. They do have Darnell Mooney is out. He got injured. So that's a little wonder about. But he did really well last year. He finally started clicking again. He struggled when he was down at the Bears for some reason. Couldn't get back on his footing, but he got back on his footing now, back where he should be. But I think everybody was happy to see Drake London finally do good and Kyle
All right.
Pitts.
All right, we don't need to talk about them too much because that's going to be another division coming up.
I know. I'm getting crazy. All right, guys.
Yeah.
If you like the content, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And what do you always say?
Make sure you share because sharing is caring.
That's right.